Now, to their fans, and they have always proved very popular right here in Britain, news that R.E.M. are splitting up after 31 years was a real moment of sadness. Their music is usually called alternative rock, and it speaks for itself. But it was also coupled with political activism for a variety of causes in the United States and worldwide. Michael Stipe and Mike Mills are here. First, here's Stephen Smith on why, for some people, it really is the end of the world as we know it.
Shiny, happy people. The men from Athens, Georgia, weren't your typical rock stars. As Rolling Stone magazine said, they lived in some weird town nobody'd ever heard of. They didn't play power chords. They probably couldn't even spell spandex.
Massive stardom, all sat a little uncomfortably on R.E.M's shoulders. I mean, I'm sure the material awards were nice. But I do think, unlike you two, who when you see Bono come out in his shades and his leathers and prance around and wave a big flag, and be it the mullet years or the fly years or whatever, someone who looks to the manner born, it never looked quite that. Rather like Morrissey and the Smiths, they looked like they could do it, but they never looked as comfortable doing it. And in Michael Stipe, they had a rock man who subverted what the rock frontman was. More Quentin Crisp, possibly, than Rock Viking.
Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match.
R.E.M. took a very American rock and roll tradition, blokes with guitars, and sort of gave it a reading list. Their songs could be about subjects as esoteric as the troubled sitcom star Andy Kaufman, as in Man on the Moon. This was alternative rock. You could say the same of the causes R.E.M. championed. Members of the band have campaigned for environmental, feminist and human rights causes, and to encourage voting. But are they for real, or just celebrity liberals, as some have claimed?
Although they were for a period lumped in with that whole charity rock aristocracy, but I think they always remained true to a slightly different and slightly more esoteric and left-field agenda as well, because you had Stipe allied himself with any number of causes, and you felt he genuinely believed in them. That is not to say that those other people did not believe in them, but I certainly think you felt that his heart was in them rather more than Sting, shall we say.
It's the end of the world as we know.
To take a liberal agenda, quite an explicitly liberal agenda, and fill American rock radio and American stadiums with it is no mean feat. It certainly wasn't a mean feat during the Conservative years. They have remained a constant in the kind of American conscience in a way that politicians haven't.
I will write our story in my mind.
The idiosyncratic R.E.M. now marked their breakup, not with fights and writs, but a new video featuring Kirsten Dunst. So what did it? That always difficult 16th album? Or did they chuck the towel in after David Cameron picked their track Perfect Circle for his Desert Island Discs?
And here with me now, Michael Stipe and Mike Mills of R.E.M. I mean, was there a moment we just thought, that's it, it's over?
Yeah, it was a long moment. But
A long moment.
I mean, we took a while to figure out that we wanted to call it a day and disband.
Why? Because you could go on, you could sort of separate for a bit, you could come back for a bit, the Rolling Stones do it, other bands do it. Why?
Because it was an opportunity for us to walk away on our own terms, which is something that, as far as I know, very few bands, certainly that have been around for any length of time, have had the opportunity to do. There are no external forces making us do this. We have no problems. It's simply our choice.
You don't hate each other?
No. No, we can walk away as friends and feel like we've accomplished everything we wanted to accomplish.
We touched on the politics there, going back to the Reagan administration. Yeah. You spoke at the Clinton inaugural in 1993, and so how important was that for you, and does it mix with the music?
Well, that was a moment for America, I think, where we'd been through 12 years of what I thought were the darkest political years of my country in my lifetime. We had no idea, of course, that Bush and Cheney were on the horizon, which they actually trumped his father. But to be able to welcome in someone who was relatively liberal-minded, or at least moderate, as the Clinton administration started out to be, was a great moment for America.
Do you, I mean, this is a great moment for politics, though, isn't it? And therefore, presumably, for political songwriting. I know, some of your songs touch in and out of it, but this is a great moment for that right now, isn't it?
Well, it's always easy to write about politics in the opposition, when you're the underdog and you're angry at what's going on. I mean, even though we're huge fans of President Obama, the fact is he's been stymied in so much of what he wanted to do by the minority, which seems inherently unfair to us and is just as irritating as having the majority be the problem.
So you're not sort of abandoning Obama. You're still a
not at
supporter?
all. No,
not at all.
And would support him next year.
Absolutely.
He's in trouble, though, is he?
He's in trouble, I think, and this is my opinion and nothing more. But he won't say up front that the administration that he followed screwed things up so badly, and that he and his administration are left to kind of clean up the mess. And I kind of wish he would just say that, but it seems unpresidential to do so.
When you have toured around the world for many years, you're very popular here, as I said. I mean, do you notice how views of America and Americans have changed since you started touring? In other words, how popular are America and how popular Americans, and how popular is America now?
I think it's better than it was, certainly, when we first started coming over here. There were the cruise missiles being placed around, and we were the lightning rod for that criticism because we were the people that they could.
It was your fault, was it?
Well, we were the face that they could complain to when we were here. So, I think in general America is perceived a little better than it was when we started out, but it's a never-ending struggle, and it doesn't get better in the big picture.
How important is it when anybody who's a celebrity in any kind of field gets involved in any of it? I mean, your causes have been everything from Darfur,
pretty wide.
Aung San Suu Kyi, domestic politics in America, and so on. Does that actually help or not?
I think it does. I mean, people have come up to me over the course of 32 years that we've been together as a band and said, I was an aimless 17-year-old and I heard this song or I saw this show, and I'm now an environmental lawyer, and thank you for helping influence my choice, my life choice. Stuff like that happens more often than you would think, and that makes me feel, as a public figure, like our activism, although it might turn off some fans because they might be of a different opinion, I think it's important to feel like you can express yourself.
But is there a problem when you're the biggest or one of the biggest rock bands in the world doing that kind of thing? I mean, sometimes, for instance, Sting and Bono, not entirely popular here with some people because of that activism.
You certainly risk alienating people, but as a human being, I have to get up and look at myself in the mirror in the morning, and what I live for is not to be popular with everyone, but to be true to what I believe in and what I feel. And if that involves using our platform to make political statements and potentially, alienating a certain portion of the audience, that's something we have to do anyway.
Are you? When are you getting back together again?
We're not. Thank you for asking.
When's the Hell? Well, I thought it'd be the first. When's the Hell Freezes Over tour going to take place? It's not.
It won't. I mean,
it's definitely over.
It's over. Yeah, it's done.
And sad?
Yeah, of course. It's bittersweet. It's strangely liberating.
Oddly liberating, yeah. But we feel very comfortable with what we've done.
And just a final word. Today's protest, the Occupy Wall Street. We've got ones here. Fans of that? Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Thank you very much.